it's really hard to get somebody, especially if he's really strict in his beliefs and just doesn't. It may not be that he doesn't believe in it, actually. It could be that he just doesn't want to acknowledge that it exists.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that just don't want to acknowledge the fact that there are spirits that try to communicate with people, whether it be positive or negative. Not everything is a negative thing to interact with people. Sometimes you might get pinched, you might get your hair pulled by just a normal human spirit that's just trying to do something to get your attention.
Right. All right, Bev says she can get on by no way to chat. So we're going to have to figure out how we can get everybody in here so they can chat. Because we don't know that side of it, really. We know this side of it. All right, so tonight's topic is going to be this really cool place that Chris and I love. They have their own TV show. Chris is going to share a little bit on screen for us what we're talking about. We mentioned it in the Crystal Chambers the other day. We didn't really say the full name of the thing, but we're going to be talking about Skinwalker Ranch tonight. It's a highly active, for whatever reason, ranch in Utah. And there is a lot of weird stuff going on at this ranch. There's UFOs going on. There's strange magnetic energy, kind of like a microwave energy going on. This is Skinwalker Ranch here. Hopefully you guys can see it on the screen. Go up to the top, Chris, so they can start at the top. So this is Skinwalker Ranch. They do have a show on. Chris will have to tell you that because he's the one that pulls it up. Chris, what channel is the show on? The History Channel, and it's on what nights?
Tuesday.
And it's on Tuesday night, guys. If you guys want to tune in, it is absolutely fascinating. What I'm trying to think of some of the things that go on there. Besides the UFOs. First of all, every time they have a physicist, an astrophysicist, a rocket scientist. I'm not lying. This guy named Travis, what is his last name? What is Travis's last name?
Taylor.
Travis Taylor. This guy is
astrophysicist, rocket scientist. He works for NASA. He's built the projects for NASA. I think he built black boxes that carry the plane.
Yeah.
Done something. No, whatever he done was something that went to the moon.
So, in other words, this Travis guy, he is super duper smart, okay? And he still cannot figure out what is going on at this ranch. Every episode, this scientist is mind blown because of what's going on. If you can scroll back up to the windows, Brittany had a comment. The building makes me want to go just by the windows, the one with Brandon by the windows. Oh, can I do it on my screen?
No. This is Travis, the one I'm circling.
All right, Travis is the one Chris is circling right there. That is Brandon. That is the owner of the ranch. Then we got Dragon to the right. He's the security guard.
This is Thomas.
Thomas. Yes, there is something interesting that happened to Thomas. He got hit by one of the, I'm going to call them microwave waves of energy, and it actually pulled his skin from his skull, and he had to go to the emergency room twice. Now, that's just one odd thing that's happened to, can you circle him again?
To Thomas?
Thomas, yes. Thomas is the one with the black hat on.
Travis actually got radiation burns, like he was getting treated.
Yeah.
By standing over a well.
Yeah, they opened the lid to a well on the ranch, and Travis, the scientist, bent over the hole and actually got burns on his face from the energy coming up out of the well hole. So the scientist, Travis, he still doesn't know what's going on, but this is just a fascinating subject for me. Every time, you guys know I'm into the sound frequency and all that stuff. whenever they call it stim. Yeah, I think no, that's not the photo. The one was with Brandon by the windows. Whenever they call it stimulate. Yeah, that photo right there. No, the very first one you had with Brandon standing by the window. There you go. That's the one Brittany was talking about, the windows. That's Homestead too, Chris said. Whenever they call it stimulating activity, whenever they start messing around with the ranch, like digging holes, or they like to put rockets up in the air to like get data, whenever they stimulate the ranch, there is this weird frequency of energy. What is it, 1.6 gigahertz? 1.6 gigahertz energy wave that always comes and just malfunctions all of their crap. Like all of their, whenever they try to collect data, something interferes and everything goes haywire. And they call it stimulating the ranch. Like when they put rockets in the air, you'll see a UFO like a couple minutes after that, just in the air.
This building right here.
You gotta talk louder so they can hear you.
The building that he's standing with right there, Homestead 2, they've actually documented portals opening inside and above this place.
Mm-hmm.
The people that originally owned this land had their farm tractor put 30 feet into a tree above this building. Literally in the tree. When they woke up, their farm tractor was on top of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
With no explanation, no storms of any kind.
Mm-hmm. And wasn't it this show that the cattle got, for one of the past owners, he was telling a story about how the cattle got stacked on one, the cows got stacked on one another in this little shed. Like they opened the door and the live cattle, the cows, were stacked on top of one another.
They were catatonic. They were just there in a daze, drooling on themselves, and all of a sudden, they didn't want to disturb them, so they just opened the doors and slowly pulled them out. Once they pulled them out, they said it took about 15 minutes, and next thing you knew, the cattle was back to normal, like nothing ever happened.
It is very crazy. We love watching this show because I know that they're going to bust open with whatever it is. It seems like it's an intelligence behind it, because every time they try to collect data, something interferes with it. So I feel like it's intelligent. But what in the heck could it be? Like, they have theories that it could be something buried under the ground. I know one time they mentioned maybe a spaceship under the ground, or like a portal or a wormhole could be causing this.
They said that there could be facilities under the ground. We're not sure if it's a facility or if it's a craft of some sort. They found something that's 1,000 feet long in front of the homestead, too.
And I was going to say something else, but I don't remember what it was now. Oh, they put, what are those shop lights called? Those great big long white lights.
Fluorescent lights?
The great big long fluorescent lights you like use in your garage, they took and just stuck in the dirt of this place. And didn't they light up?
No, they used, now I can't even think. The Tesla coil. They used the Tesla coil to put off energy. And they just stuck these, I think it was a 50-foot circle that they had done. They stuck the lights in the ground, turned the Tesla coil on just to put energy out. It wasn't hooked to these lights, but the light was conducting the electricity, lighting them up. They were walking around with bulbs in their hands, lighting them up from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Because the ground there, the way that it's layered, is conducting energy and holding it like a battery.
It's very odd, and it's very fascinating. Brittany said, cool, I'm going exploring tomorrow, and this is just making me even more excited. Where are you going exploring at tomorrow, Brittany? Somewhere you're allowed to, I hope. One other theory that I particularly have is maybe there's quartz buried in the ground at the Skinwalker Ranch. Quartz powers up the earth.
This photo that I have up, you want to tell them? This is one of the UAPs that they saw that appeared when they were simulating.
So I was telling you that when they do experiments or they dig or they try to mess with the ranch at all, they call it stimulating the ranch. And every time they stimulate the ranch, something happens, including, what do they call it, a UAP?
Yeah.
With,
UFO, UAP, whichever.
so, unidentified aerial phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. He's such a big help. I love you. All right. But yeah, this is just one photo of what they've caught there. There's many more.
Here's a better look at the ranch. This is toward the basin. Back of that is the basin.
Whenever they fly in a helicopter around the ranch, they get invisible aircraft. To our eyes, it's invisible, but they have caught on their security surveillance actually what looks like stealth fighters flying under their helicopter, and they had no idea was there. Their sensor was telling them something was 40 to 50 feet below their helicopter, but they saw nothing with their own two eyes. The people on the ground saw nothing with their own two eyes, but on their security surveillance, you can see it zip right under their helicopter. It looked like a stealth fighter.
The principal investigator, Eric Ward, saw it on the review of the footage from the sky cams. It went under them going one way, and then the next time it was going the other way, and nobody saw it. They were even looking down, taking readings, looking at the ground below them, and never saw this crack. But the GPS and the altitude meters in the helicopter were going off saying something was right below them.
All right, Benny said Fort Mansfield and I'm going to say Napatree Point, Rhode Island. That's where she's going to be tomorrow. Exploring. Awesome.
What are you exploring for, Ghost?
Well, you know she is.
Want to find those attachments?
No.